My dear friend, there is a truth that the ancient ones knew well, a truth that lives quietly in the heart of all wisdom traditions, and it is this: the ability to wait, to postpone what feels pleasant in this moment, to resist the pull of immediate comfort. This ability is not just a small skill. It is a pillar of inner strength. It is a doorway to freedom. When we speak of delaying gratification, we are speaking about something very simple on the surface. We are speaking about the choice to not reach for the cookie now, to not click on the distraction now, to not say the harsh word now, to not buy the thing that calls to us now. We are speaking about the capacity to feel a desire arise within us and to simply watch it, to know it is there, and yet not to follow it immediately. This seems like such a small thing, does it not? And yet, my friend, this small thing contains within it the seed of transformation. Let me share with you why this is so. You see, when a desire arises in the mind, it comes with a certain energy. It comes with a pull, a magnetism. The mind says, I want this. The body says, I need this. And if we are not aware, if we are not watching carefully, we simply follow, we reach out, we grasp, we take. And in that moment, we believe we are satisfying ourselves. We believe we are taking care of our needs. But what actually happens in that moment? What happens when we always follow every desire the instant it appears? We become weak. Not weak in body, perhaps, but weak in spirit. We become servants to our impulses. We become like leaves blown by the wind, moving this way and that way, never choosing our direction, never standing firm. The Buddha taught us about craving, about tanha, this thirst that is never satisfied. He taught that craving is the root of suffering. And when we always give in to our desires immediately, we are feeding this craving. We are making it stronger. We are training ourselves to be controlled by it. Think of a small child who has never been taught to wait. Everything the child wants, the child gets immediately. What happens to such a child? The child becomes demanding, restless, unhappy. Why? Because the world cannot always give us what we want the moment we want it. And so the child who has never learned to wait becomes a person who suffers greatly whenever life does not conform to their wishes. But the child who learns to wait, who learns that a desire can be felt without being immediately satisfied, this child learns something precious. This child learns that desires come and go like clouds in the sky. This child learns that we are not our desires. We are the vast sky in which the desires appear and disappear. This is the beginning of freedom, my friend. When you delay gratification, when you feel the pull of desire and you choose to pause, to breathe, to wait, you are doing something profound. You are creating space between stimulus and response. You are inserting awareness into the automatic pattern of grasping. In that space, in that pause, something beautiful can happen. You can see clearly. You can ask yourself, is this what I truly need? Is this action in harmony with my deeper values? Is this choice leading me toward freedom or toward more bondage? Without this space, without this pause, we are simply reacting. We are not free. We are machines, programmed by our conditioning, by our past experiences, by our habits. Let me tell you something about strength. True strength is not about forcing yourself to do difficult things through sheer willpower alone. True strength is not about gritting your teeth and suffering. True strength comes from understanding. It comes from seeing clearly. When you understand that every time you delay a small gratification, you are weakening the chain of craving, you are building your capacity for freedom, then the delay does not feel like deprivation. It feels like practice. It feels like training. It feels like liberation. Consider the athlete who trains for many months, waking early, exercising when the body wants to rest, eating carefully when the mind wants comfort food. Is this person suffering? In one sense, yes. There is discomfort. There is the pain of discipline. But in another sense, this person is not suffering at all. This person is moving toward a goal, building strength, creating something beautiful. The same is true for you in your inner life. When you choose to delay gratification, you are training. You are building the muscles of mindfulness, of self-awareness, of inner freedom. Now, I must tell you something important. The middle path that the Buddha taught is not about extreme self-denial. It is not about punishing yourself or creating unnecessary suffering. It is about balance. It is about wisdom. There is a difference between healthy delay of gratification and harmful suppression. When you delay gratification with wisdom, you are not saying, "I must never have pleasure. I must never enjoy anything." No, this is not the path. This is another form of craving, craving for austerity, craving to be seen as disciplined. Instead, you are saying, "I will be mindful of my desires. I will not be controlled by them. I will choose consciously when to fulfill them and when to let them pass." Sometimes it is wise to enjoy a simple pleasure, to eat something delicious, to rest when tired, to laugh with a friend. The Buddha himself accepted food offerings. He taught the importance of caring for the body. He did not advocate for constant denial. But there is a great difference between mindful enjoyment and compulsive grasping. There is a great difference between choosing to rest and being unable to do anything that requires effort. There is a great difference between occasionally enjoying a treat and constantly seeking the next hit of pleasure to avoid feeling what is present. The practice of delaying gratification helps us to know this difference. It helps us to become intimate with our own minds. It helps us to see our patterns clearly. Let me share with you what happens in the mind when we practice this delay, when we practice this pause. At first, when you feel a desire and you do not immediately satisfy it, there is discomfort. The mind protests. The body feels restless. This is normal. This is the habit pattern asserting itself. The mind is saying, "But we always do this. Why are we not doing this now? Something is wrong." But if you can stay present with this discomfort, if you can breathe with it, observe it, be curious about it, something remarkable happens. The intensity of the desire begins to change. It is not constant. It rises and falls like a wave. If you watch carefully, you will see that the desire reaches a peak, and then if you do not feed it, it begins to subside. It loses its power. It becomes just another sensation, another thought, another passing phenomenon in the vast space of awareness. This is a profound discovery. This is seeing impermanence directly. This is understanding that all conditioned things arise and pass away. Even our most intense desires, even our most compelling cravings, they are impermanent. They are not solid. They are not who we are. When you see this clearly, again and again through practice, you become less afraid of desire. You become less controlled by it. You know from direct experience that you can feel a desire and not act on it, and you will be okay. The desire will pass. You will survive. In fact, you will be stronger. This strength, this capacity to be with discomfort without immediately trying to fix it or escape from it, this is one of the most important skills a human being can develop. Why? Because life contains discomfort. Life contains pain, loss, disappointment, fear, uncertainty. These things are not optional. They are part of the human condition. They are part of living in a body, in a world of constant change. If we have only learned to seek pleasure and avoid pain, we are poorly equipped for life. We are fragile. We break easily. Every time something uncomfortable arises, we panic. We grasp for something to make it go away. We eat, we drink, we shop, we scroll, we distract ourselves in 1,000 ways. But none of these things address the root. None of these things bring lasting peace. They are temporary band-aids on a wound that needs deeper healing. The deeper healing comes from learning to be with what is. Learning to feel discomfort without immediately reacting. Learning to stay present even when the present moment is not pleasant. And where do we learn this? We learn it in the small moments. We learn it when we feel the desire for a second helping of food and we pause. We learn it when we want to check our phone for the 20th time and we choose to wait. We learn it when we want to say something unkind and we hold our tongue. These small moments are not trivial. They are the training ground. They are where we build our capacity for presence, for awareness, for strength. Let me tell you about the relationship between delaying gratification and compassion, because they are deeply connected. When we are constantly seeking our own immediate pleasure, constantly trying to satisfy every desire the moment it arises, we become self-centered. Our world becomes very small. It becomes all about me and my needs and my wants. But when we develop the capacity to delay gratification, when we can feel a desire without immediately acting on it, we create space for others. We can listen to someone even when we want to speak. We can help someone even when we would rather rest. We can give even when we want to keep. This is not about being a martyr. This is not about ignoring our own needs. Remember the middle path. We must care for ourselves wisely, but we also must remember that we are not separate from others. Our happiness is intertwined with the happiness of all beings. When we are strong enough to delay our own gratification, we have more to give. We are more available. We are more present. We are less caught up in our own endless cycle of craving and grasping. The Buddha taught about generosity, about dana, as the first of the perfections. And true generosity requires this strength, this ability to give even when there is a pull to keep, to share even when there is a desire to hoard. Every time you practice delaying gratification in your own life, you are not just building personal willpower. You are cultivating the soil from which compassion can grow. Now, let me address something that troubles many people. They say, but if I am always delaying gratification, if I am always waiting, when do I actually live? When do I enjoy life? This is a good question. It shows that you are thinking carefully about the path. The answer is this. Delaying gratification does not mean you never experience joy. In fact, quite the opposite. When you are not constantly chasing the next pleasure, when you are not always grasping and wanting, you become more capable of experiencing the joy that is already present. Think about it. When you eat that piece of chocolate while doing 5 other things, barely tasting it, already thinking about the next thing, how much joy is there really? But when you delay, when you wait until you can truly be present, when you eat slowly and mindfully, savoring each moment, is there not more genuine satisfaction? The practice of delaying gratification teaches us to be present. It teaches us that happiness is not found in the multiplication of pleasures, but in the depth of our presence with each experience. There is a story of a monk who ate one simple meal each day. A visitor asked him, "Do you not wish for more food, for richer food, for variety?" The monk smiled and said, "When I eat, I am completely eating. I taste every flavor. I feel every texture. I am grateful for every bite. I experience more satisfaction in my one simple meal than most people experience in their feast." This is the paradox. By learning to delay, to wait, to be selective, we actually increase our capacity for genuine satisfaction. We learn to appreciate what we have. We learn to be present with simple joys. The mind that is constantly seeking the next thing, the next pleasure, the next distraction, this mind is never satisfied. It is always hungry. It is always restless. This is a painful way to live. But the mind that has learned to pause, to wait, to be present, this mind can find contentment in very simple things. A breath, a bird singing, the warmth of the sun, the taste of water. This is not a poverty of experience. This is a richness that most people never discover because they are too busy chasing after more. Let me speak now about the modern world, because I know you live in a time of unprecedented access to immediate gratification. You can have almost anything you want delivered to your door within hours. You can access infinite entertainment with a single click. You can communicate with anyone, anywhere, instantly. You can escape boredom or discomfort at any moment. This is remarkable in many ways. But it is also creating a kind of weakness, a kind of fragility that previous generations did not experience in quite this way. People are losing the capacity to wait. They are losing the ability to be bored. They are losing the strength to sit with discomfort. And this is creating suffering, not because the technology itself is bad, but because without the inner strength to use it wisely, it becomes a tool of endless craving, endless distraction, endless escape. You cannot change the world you live in. You cannot go back to a simpler time, but you can cultivate inner strength. You can practice delaying gratification. You can train yourself to pause before reaching for the phone, before clicking on the link, before buying the thing, before eating the food. Every time you practice this pause, you are swimming against a very strong current. You are choosing a different path than the one that is being sold to you constantly. This requires courage. This requires determination. But it is worth it, my friend. It is so worth it. Because on the other side of this practice is freedom. Real freedom. Not the false freedom of having everything you want whenever you want it. That is not freedom. That is slavery to desire. Real freedom is being able to want something and not be controlled by the wanting. Real freedom is being able to feel discomfort and not need to immediately escape it. Real freedom is being able to choose your actions based on wisdom rather than being pulled around by impulses. This freedom is available to you. It has always been available to you. It is your birthright as a human being, but you must practice. You must train. You must be willing to be uncomfortable sometimes in service of this greater freedom. Let me tell you about the long view because this is important. When you delay a small gratification today, the benefit may not be immediately obvious. You may just feel like you deprived yourself of something pleasant, but you are planting a seed. You are creating a small shift in your neural pathways. You are weakening the automatic pattern of grasping. Do this once and the effect is small. Do this many times over weeks and months and years and the effect is profound. You become a different person. You become someone with deep inner resources. You become someone who is not easily shaken. You become someone who can stay present through difficulty. This is the power of practice. This is the power of small, consistent actions aligned with wisdom. The Buddha did not become enlightened in a day. He practiced for years. He sat under the Bodhi tree and faced all the demons of his own mind, all the desires and fears and distractions, and he stayed present. He did not run. He did not give in. He watched with clear awareness until he saw the truth. You are on the same path, my friend. Every time you delay a gratification, every time you pause and breathe and choose awareness over automaticity, you are walking the Buddha's path. You are practicing liberation. And here is something beautiful to consider. As you become stronger in this practice, as you develop this capacity to delay gratification, you actually become more helpful to others. You become a source of stability in a world of reactivity. You become a refuge for those who are struggling. When someone comes to you in distress, you can be present with them because you have learned to be present with your own discomfort. When someone needs your help, you can give it because you are not constantly caught up in your own needs. When someone needs wisdom, you can offer it because you have done the work of understanding your own mind. This is the Bodhisattva path. The path of living for the benefit of all beings. And it is built on this foundation of inner strength, this capacity to not be controlled by every passing desire. So I encourage you, my friend, to see the practice of delaying gratification not as a burden, not as a deprivation, but as a gift you are giving yourself. It is training in freedom. It is training in presence. It is training in love. Start small. You do not need to make dramatic changes all at once. Just begin to notice when a desire arises. Notice the pull, notice the automaticity, and sometimes, just sometimes, pause, wait, breathe. See what happens. Notice how the desire changes. Notice how you are still okay even though you did not immediately satisfy it. Notice the space that opens up. Notice the awareness that becomes possible, and be gentle with yourself. You will not always succeed. Sometimes you will give in to the impulse. Sometimes you will react automatically. This is okay. This is part of being human. Do not judge yourself harshly. Simply notice. Learn. Begin again. Each moment is a new opportunity. Each breath is a chance to practice. Each desire that arises is an invitation to know your own mind more deeply. Over time, you will find that you are changing. You will find that you have more patience, more presence, more peace, more freedom. This is not because you have become perfect. It is because you have practiced, you have trained, you have cultivated strength. And this strength will serve you in ways you cannot yet imagine. It will be there when you face loss. It will be there when you face fear. It will be there when you face uncertainty. It will be a refuge and a resource that no one can take from you. This is the gift of delaying gratification. This is why it makes you strong. Not strong in the sense of being hard or rigid or unfeeling. Strong in the sense of being flexible, resilient, aware, free. The Buddha said that we are what we repeatedly do. If we repeatedly follow every desire, we become weak and scattered. If we repeatedly practice awareness and wise choice, we become strong and centered. The choice is yours in each moment. No one can make this choice for you. No one can do this practice for you. But I can tell you with certainty that it is possible, it is worth it, and you are capable of it. You have within you right now everything you need to begin this practice. You do not need special equipment. You do not need to go anywhere. You do not need to be anyone other than who you are. You simply need to begin, to notice, to pause, to breathe, to choose. And in those small moments of choice, in those sacred pauses between desire and action, you are touching the truth of who you are. You are touching freedom. May you have the courage to practice. May you have the patience to continue even when it is difficult. May you discover the deep peace that comes from inner strength. May you know the freedom that is your true nature. And may all beings everywhere benefit from your practice, from your strength, from your presence. Namo Buddhaya.